All right, for this one right here, what you're going to do is to calculate it out, you really just have to deal with this thing called PEMDAS first. PEMDAS. See, there's this lady, her name is Aunt Sally, and she's crazy. But you have to excuse her. So please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, which basically tells you parentheses first, then exponents, then multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So let's deal with this guy right here. The parentheses that we're going to do first is the stuff inside the parentheses. So let's see, that's 4 minus 99.6. And handy dandy calculator. I get negative 95.6. So this guy right here actually becomes that squared. Plus, let's see, 4.3 minus 28.2. So I'm doing the stuff inside the parentheses, and I get negative 23.9 squared. And then the last part is 5.1 minus 376. And I get negative 370.9 squared. Now, I'm going to still keep that big square root over it. Notice how I've got negative 95.6 squared. I've got all of these numbers that are negative, and I'm squaring them. When you square a negative number, when you're multiplying a negative times a negative, you get a positive. So 95.6 or negative 95 times negative 95.6 is what? Positive 9139.36. And that would have been positive even if this were positive or negative, because when you square it, it's going to just make it positive anyway. Plus 23.9 squared, that's 571.21, plus 370.9 squared, and I got 13,7,567. 13,7,567. Be careful with the numbers that you write down. All right, now before I take the square root, what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to do the stuff inside of the square root first. So it's almost like a parentheses that should go in there. So I'm going to add, let's see, 571.21 plus 91.39 plus 0.36 plus 13,576 or 67, and I end up getting this number, 14,727.70. There we go. And all you do is plug that into your handy dandy calculator, take the square root of that, and you get 383.767. Now, it's kind of ridiculous to write down a whole bunch of numbers like 767, blah, 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 because you didn't have that kind of accuracy to begin with. You know what I mean? Like, we started off with the kind of accuracy that was maybe one decimal place. So what I would do, if I were you, is I would just keep maybe one of these decimal places. Or you can even round it up to 384. That means the distance from Polaris to Wolf 359. Let's see, this guy right here. From the distance from Polaris to Wolf 359 is 384. Cool. And so you do the same thing with all of these other things. You just take the numbers, plug them right in, and you'll be good.